Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am the Disabled Life Coach. I'm Vince, the Disabled Life Coach, and so today we will be talking about the third installation in our series, our self-transformation series. So what we're going to be talking about is the soul. So before we talked about the unconscious mind, and now we're going to be talking about the soul. There's different words for this, but basically it's the soul. So so we'll get into that. But before we get into all that, I just wanted to let you guys know about some massive discounts and sales that I'm having. So this white box here, you can see there's a big 60% off sale going on at GabboTheShaman.gumroad.com. This is my other channel, so Gabbo the Shaman is my other channel, my main channel pretty much, and so this is just a channel. The channel that you're watching now is just a channel that I do just to help disabled people in whatever capacity I can. So yeah, I've learned some really cool things along the way, so I mean, just might as well share those with you guys. So we have this sale, this 60% off sale when you use the code HOLIDAY, and then we have sales on my Vedic astrology package, the Vedic astrology reading. My Vedic astrology readings are basically tailored to, find out the most important things within your chart. And then, of course, I have my other energy work courses up here. I have my self-transformation challenge. I have my cosmic Qigong course. And those are available at patreon.com/GabboTheShaman. So one other thing that I do is I'm also a life coach, so I can help disabled people find, their passion and go after and live the life that they want to live. Just because you have a disability doesn't mean that you need to be limited by it. There's workarounds, there's things that you can do to live as great a life as you want to live. It is possible. It's a lot of hard work, but it is possible. Don't give up hope that you can live, the life that you want to live. So, the life of your dreams. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about the soul. So in the last videos we talked about the unconscious mind and how we can transform the unconscious mind, but there's a missing component here, which is the soul. So we have, in the last video I told you guys that we have 3 selves. We have the higher self, we have the lower self in the navel center, and then we have the soul in the heart center. So we have 3 selves, 3 components. So in the last video we talked about the lower self, the psychological programming, the unconscious, and now we're talking about the middle self, or the soul. So basically the soul is well, I'm not going to kind of define the soul, because that would be like defining infinity. So, but basically, the point is, so each of us, I have the assumption or the belief that each of us incarnates into this world for a certain reason. There's certain needs and wants that the soul wants and needs to get its needs and wants and desires met, right? So we all have these different wants, these different needs, these different desires, and so the soul is on this mission, trying to get its needs met, trying to get its desires met, trying to accomplish its desires. So anybody who was born with a physical disability, or like any kind of a physical challenge, or it even could be a mental disability, it doesn't really matter. Anybody who is born with any type of disability has chosen to give themselves a challenge, an extra challenge, an added challenge on the challenge, on top of the challenge of being human, which is a challenge in and of itself. We, speaking of disabled people, chose to give ourselves the challenge of incarnating into an existence where we have more limitations than normal, than other people. So so this is something that we have to deal with. So but so it's almost like, so basically the point is, if we incarnated in this existence with our disability, our soul chose that, and so this means that our soul is highly advanced, highly evolved. So our soul is highly advanced and highly evolved to be able to do that. And so the challenge that you have is to rise beyond your limitations. It might seem like the world is against you. It might seem like everything is going to crap, Like, it might seem hopeless for you, and that's the way I lived for many years. My health was terrible. I just had a crappy attitude too, and everything seemed like it was pointless. Like there was no point to living life. But so if you're in that state, I totally understand. I can relate. So let's see. So your soul is highly advanced. You have to know that. So your soul wants to go from that state of depression and that state of, emptiness and just being, down in the dumps, to accomplishing its desires, so it wants to go from, the state that you're currently at to, accomplishing its mission, because we all have a different soul mission. So but so that could be individual, like it'll be highly individual. It'll be whatever that is to you, So so yeah, trying to think of the words. But anyway, so how do we do this? So how do we accomplish our soul desire? Well, one of the things that's been extremely helpful for me is to meditate, because a lot of people don't even know why they incarnated. A lot of people don't even know what their soul desire is. So how can they go to accomplish that when they don't even know what it is? Well, the thing is, as Westerners in Western society, we tend to distract ourselves with entertainment, TV, the internet, Netflix, whatever. And like we're chronically distracted, basically. We aren't listening to our soul. We do everything to run away from our soul, to shut off the mind, that voice in our head that bugs the crap out of us, that tells us that we're not living up to our potential. It tells us that we are, that we're wasting our life and all that stuff. So we're trying to run away from that, but really that's our soul. That's our soul telling us that we are out of alignment with ourselves. And so when we don't listen to the soul kind of shuts up. It shuts off. It goes dormant. So this is why meditation is so important. To, a lot of people can't even stand being with themselves alone, silently, for half an hour. That's just the case in the majority of America, or I should say the majority of the world, because we've lost our connection to our soul, our connection to Mother Earth. And so, so how do we get back to connecting with the soul? This is why meditation is so important. The stuff I teach over here, all this stuff is designed to help you to connect with your soul and to live from your soul, especially that Qigong course. If you do that Qigong course, it's only like a 30-minute program. If you do that every day for the rest of your life, like, it's going to be transformational. For me, it was a slow process that took about 9 months, but I mean, those 9 months were gonna go by anyway, so I might as well just do the daily disciplines and connect to my soul, So basically what you have to know is, whether you choose to do my practices or not, the time is going to go by anyway. It's the clock is always ticking, so you might as well do something to benefit yourself and to get yourself into a better state of mind than to continue struggling like you were. Some people don't want to improve themselves. Some people just don't want to do that, and that's fine, but this channel is for those who do want to improve themselves, who do want to be better, who do want to be the best versions of themselves and the best people that they can be, disabled or not. So I kind of ranted there. What was I talking about? So basically we need to connect to the soul. We need to understand what it wants. We need to have this connection with the soul. So this is what everything that I teach is about. So, let me see. So how do we know what the soul wants, basically? That was a question that I had for quite a while. Was, how do I know what my soul wants? How do I distinguish that voice versus my inner voice, where it's telling me that I'm a piece of crap and blah 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 and all of this negative self-talk? How do I distinguish the two? Well, so you're going to ask yourself the question, what is it that I truly want in my deepest essence? What is it that I truly want in my deepest essence? Now, that is different than what do I want in my psychological programming, from my psychological programming. So, for example, my psychological programming might want to just like indulge in unhelpful things, right? My psychological programming might want to smoke weed and do drugs and all this unhelpful stuff, right? But your soul will tell you, like, your soul wants to do something that will be helpful and beneficial for not only you, but everybody around you. So, when you follow your soul, the way you'll know you're following your soul is you're not operating from your psychological programming. The kind of thing that says if you don't do this, you won't get your needs met, kind of thing. But so how you know you're operating from your soul is it's something that you love to do. Like, it's, imagine like a childlike innocence kind of thing, where you're where it's like you're not operating from this like scared psychological programming kind of thing, but you're operating from your soul. You're operating from your internal happiness, your internal joy, the thing that gives you joy, and stuff like that. So that's how you're operating from your soul. So just if you haven't already, just keep asking yourself that question: what does my soul want? What is it that my soul wants? And so when we do that, we trigger it to want to respond. So yeah, let me think, is that everything I wanted to say? So yeah, I mean, I just like living from the soul is the best thing that you can do. Because okay, so we'll talk about why you want to live from your soul. So you want to live from your soul because so a lot of people, most people in Western society today, we don't we're always trying to avoid our soul. We're trying to avoid the psychological programming and the things that are saying that this is not what we're supposed to do. We're trying to avoid the warning signals that our soul puts up in front of us, right? So we're always in the state of trying to avoid our soul. But so in the state of trying to avoid the soul and what the soul wants, we're always struggling for money. Everybody you ask the average American and they'll say ask them what do you have to do to make money? How, like, if you ask them to teach you how to make money or what you need to do to make money, most of them would say get a job, right? Well, when you're operating from your soul, money is not an issue. You'll have everything you need to get your needs met. So, you know, it's like this, because so when you're operating from your soul, you'll get everything you need, right? So, and that's been the case in my experience too. When I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing according to my soul, I get astrology clients, I get people buying my courses, I get life coaching students and all that. So, yeah. So when we are following the soul, everything comes into alignment. Like, in one of the meditations that I teach, or the guided meditations that I do, that I have on my website, you can check it out at either patreon.com/GabboTheShaman or GabboTheShaman.gumroad.com. So on either one of those sites is a meditation where I guide you through a thing to align yourself with your soul. And in that meditation I say, that when you're following your soul, you don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about, getting your physical needs met. Everything will come into alignment. So, because your soul, basically, this is how the universe works, is when you're following your soul, you will end up, so when you're following your soul, the universe comes into alignment with you. So the universe, so basically, you take actions that are in alignment with your soul. This creates a ripple effect in the universe, the fabric of the universe. And the universe takes notice of that and says, oh wow, he's going after his soul, so we'll give him, everything that he needs to do that. Because it's, before you incarnated, you told the universe that you wanted to do this, and so whatever that is for you. And so, so the universe says, okay, well, when you're doing that, I will reward you. So when you're actually pursuing the path of your soul, you will get rewarded by the universe. And that takes the form of money, that takes the form of good relationships, all kinds of things. So when you're actually following your soul, the universe will reward you. And so you just gotta do that. And that's the hardest part, is figuring out what you want to do, what your soul's telling you to do. So guys, I think this video has been quite long enough. So we will go ahead and end it here. And once again, go ahead and check out my courses. You can get 60% off of all energy work courses by going to GabboTheShaman.gumroad.com. And that's that's where all my courses are. You can also check out my Vedic astrology readings. They are currently 30% off at vincent.thunderwizard.com. And you can check out my courses on Patreon and my life coaching. Don't forget that. I'm also a life coach and mentor. You can check that out at patreon.com/GabboTheShaman. Okay, guys? So, yeah. So, we will, with all that being said, we'll go ahead and end it here. We'll talk to you later. Peace.